fantastic weekend. I know I did. A lot of family time. It was wonderful. We are trying to get rocking and rolling here on making as much money as possible. What's up, Samarth, Miggy, Sergio, Jeremy? Give me a number one. Jay Shri Ram. Okay, gotcha, man. I don't know what that means. Lightning King Ironhammer, Warrior Monk Vibes. Happy to see all you guys. Hit me up in the chat. Give me a number one if you like what we're talking about today. I want to talk about an angle that I don't normally talk about. Okay, I want to talk about how do you manage stress as an entrepreneur. That's what we're talking about today. I got to make it quick. I got so many client calls. I'm literally back to back. By the way, guys, I'm really pushing this idea of the revenue engineer very hard. If you guys want to know about it, right? It's really about if you know somebody who's got a business, they've already got the most valuable asset, and that is people that are working with them. I'm going to help them utilize that full potential, driving profits and whatnot. But today I want to talk about risk. What's up, Sergio? Hello, coach. Good afternoon. He says, Lionheart, OG Mr. LA, giving me a fist bump. What's up, dude? To Jose. I'll talk about all that stuff. I love talking about business. Nathan A. Brooks out on YouTube. Keep it up. Let's go. All right. So we're going to talk about stress, man. How many of you guys stressed? Give me a number one in the chat if you are stressed. Maybe you're stressed by your old lady. Maybe you're stressed because you got a lot of kids and they just need a lot of attention, or they need bikes or new cell phone, new computer. Maybe you're stressed out because you got a demanding boss. Maybe you're stressed out because you're your own boss and you got to rely on your wits to live and pay the bills, mortgages, and all that kind of stuff. Are you stressed out? Are you stressed out by Trump and Biden and the Federal Reserve and AI? Are you stressed out by the central banking digital currency that's going to be a giant nightmare? Are you stressed out about the Restrict Act? Do you even know about any of this shit, man? Okay, I'm going to tell you. Stress, we're going to talk about what stress is in a clinical sense first, okay? But stress, this is something that really requires a lot of attention, okay? I want to talk to you about how you can manage stress. Stress in and of itself is not a bad thing. The definition of stress is that it is a stressor, something that is that is getting your attention, that is stimulating you, okay? A stress, okay? So there's good stress, like going and exercising. That is stressing your body so you can benefit from this concept known as hormesis, Hormesis. It's a great concept. Nassim Taleb, that guy, he's kind of a blowhard, smart guy, but kind of a douchebag. He inspired me through my financial engineering. I've been a fan of his forever. So I do feel that I'm allowed to say that. He's liked actually a couple of my posts on social media. But his whole idea of anti-fragility, right? Anti-fragile. It's this idea of, applying stress to something and it makes it stronger. Because sometimes you apply stress and it makes things weaker, right? If I apply an earthquake to a building, that stress makes the building weaker. How can you use stress to make you stronger? So inoculation, that's a concept. Exercise makes you stronger, even though it's stress, right? So we want to make sure that we're getting the right kind of stress. But being an entrepreneur or being a parent, because really this is about if you're a parent or an entrepreneur or both, stress can get you. And so we want to figure out how best can we manage that. And I'm going to share my strategies. I run 3 businesses. Do you even know how to run one business, dude? I run 3. And I got 3 kids. All of them, a 16-year-old daughter, 13-year-old son, 11-year-old son. I'm married, so I got a marriage to maintain, and I look after my nearly 80-year-old mother. Let me tell you something about stress. And I flew 25 flights alone last year. There's only 52 weeks in a year. So I want to talk about this because I think it's something important for you guys. Jeremy, Jeremy Auden 93 says politicians always stress me. Dude, politicians stress the shit out of me, man. Politicians suck. Suck. I mean, I wish there was a way that we could get rid of politicians. If you got the way to get rid of politicians in a way that we don't need them, and I got the way, I just nobody wants to hear it. It's personal responsibility. Stop outsourcing all this crap to these jokers who just take the money and run. Anyway, being an entrepreneur is a lot like jumping off a cliff, right? And then building the parachute as you go down. So the stakes are high, pressure is intense, and then you add parenthood to the mix, dude. It's brutal. WEDN176 says spladle the politicians, dude. It used to be called tar and feather. If somebody did something real sketchy and they used to tar and feather, Google that. That's fascinating to me. They used to do that to politicians. Used to be able to do duels too. And that wasn't even that long ago. That was like 150 years ago or maybe 175 years ago. Anyway, don't worry about the stress because I'm going to help you out with some tricks that I've worked, right? I'm not just an entrepreneur who's built a couple successful businesses. I'm also a parent of boys and girls. And I'm going to share with you the secrets on how to manage stress effectively, okay? WEDN176 says, which is worse, tar and feather or the spladle? Oof. I mean, listen, man, I've been spladled. I've never been tarred and feathered. I think I'd go with the spladle, but the spladle is brutal. The spladle is like, to me, the pinnacle of embarrassment in pinning. That is the worst, man. Sunny side eggs up, man, like rough. All right, so let's look at some facts here. First, according to the American Institute of Stress, 80% of workers are feeling stressed out on their job. Half of them say that they actually need a way to learn how to manage stress. Okay, so add to that the stress of being a parent, because the APA, now I'm not a huge fan of psychology. I'm really not. I think a lot of it's bullshit. But for the sake of conversation here, according to the APA, 69% of parents report feeling stressed. So I'll give them, they can do descriptive statistics just fine. It's when they get into inferential that they got a problem. 69% of parents are stressed, and 44% say that stress has increased over the last year, right? So what do we do with that as entrepreneurs and parents? How can we effectively, like actually do it, manage our stress? Okay, so I'm going to help you with 5 things that I did. Okay, 1, and this is hard. This is actually hard. This sounds so cliche, but you've got to really put yourself first. And think about it. It makes sense, man. You've got to put yourself first. If you're in a plane, I pray that you're never in this situation, but you know, when you go on the plane and every time the attendants tell you about the thing that drops down, they tell you to put the mask on yourself first, and then put it on other people that you can help. Because if you don't help yourself, you're not going to be able to help other people, period. So you've got to prioritize taking care of yourself. That's the number one thing. What does that mean? Does that mean be overly indulgent or wasteful? No. Does that mean blow all your money on hookers and coke or dumb stuff like that? No, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about actual self-care. Make sure you're going to bed on time or you're getting enough rest, especially if you're a parent or a new parent. That could be tough. I had my last one, man. He did not like to sleep. It was like driving me crazy. I felt like I was being tortured because of sleep deprivation. So you have to make sure you're getting naps. You have to make sure that you're like the fundamentals, dude. Are you getting enough sleep? Number 1. Number 2, getting enough quality food. Are you, because you're so stressed out, your bad habits of eating junk food? No. That's what I mean by self-care. Are you getting enough fluids? Are you exercising? That is important. Okay. So that's the number one thing. You got to actually schedule that in. You have to. Now, the next tip here supports that. You've got to maintain boundaries. So once you set that self-care, do not let that take the toll when stuff stacks up. You've got to maintain that, because if you get taken out because your health is bad or you have a mental breakdown, because maybe that means meditation. I don't know, but you got to figure it out. So set clear boundaries so you're not working around the clock, so you don't burn out. Okay. Establish these hours. This is especially, I'm really talking to those people who work for themselves. You've got to set times. Like I'll put in my phone, I'll put like reminders like, oh, it's bedtime. Oh, Jesus, man. I was sitting here banging away at 10:30 doing some marketing. I need to start shutting my brain down. I got to do it. Okay. First thing, after taking care of yourself, you set some strong boundaries with yourself. Even you can't violate them. Then you gotta get help. You gotta get help, dude. If you're stressed out, that is meaning you need to get some help. So delegate. Do you guys know how to delegate, man? Delegation is not easy, and a lot of people don't do it. Oh, it won't get done right if I don't do it. Okay, dude, if you don't figure out how to write down the description of what needs to get done in a way that somebody else can do it without you, you're just always going to be hosed. So you got to learn to delegate, and that's not just to work. You got to delegate at home too. So if your partner, they might be stressed out too, but you guys need to make sure that you have time for yourself, that you set the firm boundaries, and that you help each other. Maybe that means hiring help. So, like me and my wife, we work hard, dude. I told you I got 3 businesses and 3 kids and a marriage and all that. I mean, I'm working hard, dude. And so I hire help. I hire out my housekeeping. I hire out handyman work. I could do all that. I was a plumber's apprentice. Dude, my time is better spent doing these other projects. That guy's an expert. Like I haven't done plumbing in 20 years. What am I going to go dick around and figure this thing out? No, I'm going to go with the guy who's an expert. Okay, delegate, get other people involved. We hired a professional organizer. It wasn't getting done. Our house was just, we have 6 people in this house. Talk about stress. And it was just accumulating junk. And I couldn't get around it. That was stressing me out. So I delegated. We hired a professional organizer just on one room alone. We did 2 rooms, or 2 front rooms, our big rooms, our entertaining rooms, and took 3 loads of stuff to the Salvation Army or whatever. You've got to do it. Okay. So number 4, after delegating, you've got to develop a support network. This is related, but not exactly the same, right? You need to find people who are like you, because it will give you a sense of not being alone. It will give you possible leads and resources and ideas that you never would have had. And then the last and most important thing is PMA. You've got to be an optimist, man. You've got to have a positive mental attitude. You've got to have a positive mindset. Because if you don't, man, it will wear on you, and it will wear on the other people that you're going to rely on to help alleviate the stress. Okay? Remember all of these. These are the basic things. Now, you can get into meditation. I would not recommend booze. And honestly, I'm kind of halfway in and out on the weed thing. I'm not a teetotaler. I got no problem with that kind of stuff. Do whatever you're going to do. What do we got here? We got Nathan. I'm so blessed to be a part of a team for my primary business. Yeah, dude, having a team is crucial. I mean, the weed thing, I know there's especially because I have a grappling community here and all the Eddie Bravo and Joe Rogan people. Listen, weed is way better, in my opinion, than booze. I don't see the violence associated with booze, with weed. I don't see, all the downside, the things that like police officers have to deal with all the time. That's usually because it's booze. But I can't get behind weed 100%. I think weed is good if you are stressed and you can't manage it yourself through deep breathing or meditation or taking a walk or going and exercising. Yeah, it's okay. But the problem is weed does have downside. I mean, people don't like to talk about this, but it's true. I know I've been a heavy user of marijuana in the past. I know people that have been and that still are. And if you trying to tell me that if I put together somebody against one person that's not on weed against another person on any task, I'm going to bet on the person not on the weed, meaning like a high performance task, a high level athlete, put them in the same contest. 9 times out of 10, I think I'm going to come out on top. Maybe I'm wrong. You tell me if you think I'm wrong, but the person who is not encumbered with that, plus the chronic cannabis user, we know that there are problems with memory. There are problems with, there are long-term side effects with it. Now, of course, it's minimal, especially compared to pharmaceutical drugs or to alcohol, but there are still problems with it. So be very careful how you manage your stress, because I saw this one thing. It was with, I think it was the American Medical Association. And they said that they polled doctors, and 80% of the MDs that are part of the American Medical Association that responded to the poll said that 80% of all illness is stress related. So this is a real thing, okay? But the great thing is stress relief shouldn't have to cost you anything. It's built in, man. You just need to go unplug, take a walk, get good rest, make sure you're eating proper nutrition, that kind of thing. So I hope this was useful to you guys. As ever, if I can help you out, as the revenue engineer, No1 is my company. You can see it right there, No1. Leveraging my academic work. I went to University of Colorado Boulder on an academic or on a leadership scholarship from the prestigious President's Leadership class. I think they only accepted 50 of us out of the incoming 20,000 freshmen. That's like a ridiculous statistic. I did 2 years of intensive leadership classes and practicals and whatnot. Then I got my master's degree in financial mathematics, worked in investment banking, 30-year entrepreneur. 20-year entrepreneur, and started and sold multiple businesses, scaling a few of them into $1 million in revenue. And then I'm also a Grant Cardone certified 10X business coach and one of the Grant Cardone elite coaches, which is in the top 1% of those coaches. So if I can help you, I will help you make more money. Frankly, most people who are solopreneurs can't afford what my services are. So I am strictly taking on new clients that are business owners. In particular, I'm looking for those businesses that are 10 to 50 employees. You hit me up, we're going to blow you up, man. We're going to show how to get your employees engaged, get them thinking about revenue. So you're not the only one and they understand the process. We're going to do a lot with their personal and professional development. It's really an amazing program. Very, very proud of it. We've had incredible success since I put this whole new spin on it about 1.5 years ago. Started out as Thales coaching, named after my favorite seminal philosopher, Thales of Miletus. However, that name, as I was going along, realized I like that name, but people were pronouncing it Thales and all these other things. I was like, all right, we're going to make it simple. No1. And there's a story behind No1 that's actually related to Thales. But I'll save that for another show. Guys, I'm going to jump. I do have clients today. You literally have about 5 minutes, and I'm going to jump off here in about 10 seconds if there's no questions. I appreciate all you guys jumping in. Remember, this month, show up, Coaching Catch. The Scientific Wrestling Accelerator Camp is happening in Denver at V10 MMA. All right, Stellar Steven, give me a No1. Thank you, sir. V10 MMA in Aurora, Colorado. It's I believe it's the 22nd and 23rd. I don't have the date in front of me. You can go to coachingcatch.com, hit register today or whatever that button is. It'll take you to where you sign up, and you can either be a first-time signee, or if you've signed up before, go to the one where you've, for those that have already been, you'll get the discount there. If it's your first time, we'll get you set up with the free lifetime membership to Scientific Wrestling. Get you all the details, get you in there. By the way, if you are a member, check it out. Go log in to scientificwrestling.com. We've totally revamped the member portal. There's a bunch new resources in there, including my instructionals, catch wrestling takedowns, catch wrestling submissions, and the Nelson family. Go in there, enjoy that. That's all for members. Plus, when you're a member, you get 20% off future purchases, whether that's events or instructional material. So I appreciate you guys. And as ever, No1 Coaching, Scientific Wrestling, we can help you. Hit me up in the DMs, email me, whatever. I am here to help you, serve you, me and my team. We're going to take very good care of you. Guys, take care, and I will talk to you